When people are in denial, they do everything they can to stay in the bubble they've created for themselves and avoid reality. Trudeau is currently living in an empire of denial. While people scream, "We want you to go," he replies with, "Let's reshuffle the cabinet." Trudeau is planning to drop some members and add others. Why? He has absolutely no reason. In his infinite wisdom, Trudeau has chosen to make these changes now instead of focusing on any of the other pressing issues facing our country. While wildfires burn and people struggle to make ends meet, Trudeau has thoughtlessly decided to reshuffle his cabinet. Stick around to learn more about who'll be Trudeau's scapegoat this time. Welcome to Street Politics Canada. Before we continue, we have just launched a new channel, Street Politics USA, where we cover US and global news. Make sure to check it out and subscribe. We just dropped a new video about Joe Rogan's $100,000 challenge to Peter Hotez. The link is down in the video description. Reliable sources informed Radio Canada that the Prime Minister is preparing to reshuffle the cabinet this summer or as soon as July. Trudeau strategically chose the timing for the reshuffle carefully. He set the changes to be made early in the summer so the new faces would have some time to adapt and familiarize themselves before the next cabinet retreat scheduled for the end of August. However, when Trudeau was asked about it directly, he didn't reveal any valuable information. This is a classic Trudeau move. When he gets stuck, he just twists the question or ignores it. Remember when 4 years ago, a woman asked him a question regarding his past comments about male construction workers in rural areas? Just like now, he evaded the question without any regard for the public.
Construction workers build this country every single day. The work you do and the work your colleagues do around this country, building our roads, building our bridges, building our homes, building our factories, building our country every day is an essential building block of the country and the future we're building. That's why we're investing historic amounts in infrastructure. That is why we know that investments in the work the construction workers do right across the country is essential for building the better future that we need. Thank you for your question.
This is clearly a trend. Since just this year, he again ignored Pierre Poilievre's question about money donations.
Speaker, these are family friends. My father was godfather to one of their children. Their father was godfather to one of my brothers. Mr. Speaker, these are family friends that we've had for many, many decades, close to 50 years. And over those 50 years, I have been to that vacation spot many, many times with my family, with my father when he was still alive. But of course, Mr. Speaker, we worked with the Ethics Commissioner to make sure all rules were followed, and we followed all the practices in regards to prime ministerial travel.
Obviously, if Trudeau doesn't like a question, he feels no need to respond with the truth or any real answer. Not a very good trait in a prime minister. The prime minister is claiming that he's making this shuffle to give the government a facelift, but the face that needs to be changed here is his. Whether Trudeau plans to replace some of his puppets or remove others, this won't do us any good. Insiders say that the one who'll be dropped is the Minister of Public Safety, Marco Mendicino. The Liberal strategist named Mendicino, other sources suggested he could be given another cabinet portfolio to allow him to rebuild his image away from the public eye. When the Prime Minister was asked about Mendicino's fate as usual, he didn't give a clear answer. He only stated that he has full confidence in all members who are in my cabinet without directly referring to him. But if the rumors prove true, then Trudeau would clearly be using Mendicino as a scapegoat. It looks like Trudeau wants Mendicino to take all the blame for the transfer of Paul Bernardo, while Trudeau acts like this transfer was brand new information. Was it, though? The only shocking thing here is how the Prime Minister keeps underestimating our intelligence. While the Liberals have expressed their opinions on who might be shuffled, the former opposition House leader Tom Mulcair named who he thinks will be moved out and who won't move an inch. Speculations are all over the place, but this is definitely not Trudeau's first cabinet shuffle. When Trudeau was first elected, he said that he was committed to building strong relationships with Indigenous people.
To truly renew the relationship between Canada and Indigenous peoples, not just for today, but for the next 150 years and beyond, we need a comprehensive and far-reaching approach. We need a government-wide shift in how we do things. We need to both recognize and implement Indigenous rights, because the truth is, Mr. Speaker, until we get this part right, we won't have lasting success on the concrete outcomes that we know mean so much to everyone.
However, in 2019, he shuffled Jane Philpott from Indigenous Services, the medical doctor who worked hard to build strong relationships with Indigenous leaders, and made her the new president of the Treasury Board. He also shuffled Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, who had been trying to build a better relationship with the Indigenous community, and made her Minister of Veterans Affairs. Why would he make these decisions that he really wanted to build stronger relationships with Indigenous communities? It doesn't make any sense. This shows that he hasn't the slightest clue what he's doing. Or maybe it's quite the opposite. For Trudeau, this could all be a game of chess, and every move is just part of his strategy to win. This could explain why he promoted Chrystia Freeland to Deputy Prime Minister, as well as other ministers who seem to be untouchable. Ministers like François Philippe Champagne, the Innovation Minister, Mélanie Joly, the Foreign Affairs Minister, and Stephen Guilbeault, the Environment Minister, are not expected to be demoted or even moved to new positions. However, according to sources, Heritage Minister Pablo Rodriguez could be given a new position. It seems like this reshuffle is all just political theater for the Prime Minister, since Chrystia Freeland announced that she plans to run again in 2025 despite playing a primary role in the housing crisis and the massive economic inflation we're facing. Trudeau is likely looking to sacrifice someone marginally important, while leaving the heavyweights untouched no matter how ill-suited they are for their position. Ironically, Trudeau claims he'll prioritize the housing crisis from now on, something that Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has already brought attention to, fighting for action on behalf of all Canadians. A little too late, Trudeau.
Well, we have a housing shortage in Canada. We have the fewest houses per capita of any country in the G7, even though we have the most land to build on.
A new survey from Abacus Data shows how Canadians truly feel. The federal Conservatives have climbed to a 7 percentage point lead over Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberals. The survey was based on a random sample of 2,000 adults, but overall 81% of Canadians believe it is time for a change in government. We have had enough of Trudeau's bullshit, and 2025 is still too long to wait for change. Over all these years, Trudeau's Liberal government has only delivered problems, and now the only reshuffle anyone would be interested in is one that boots Trudeau and his pawns out of Parliament. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think is really behind the reshuffle? Who do you think will be axed and who will be promoted? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out our new video on Joe Rogan's $100,000 challenge to Peter Hotez. The link is down in the video description. Also, kindly subscribe and leave a like for this video and our other videos because they go a long way in helping our latest content rank. Follow us on our new Twitter account, where we post stuff we can't post on YouTube. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you in the next one.